right. The winner of the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness Stakes arrived at Belmont Park with high hopes of becoming the first racehorse to win the Triple Crown in 37 years. About 200 people jockeyed for an opportunity to take pictures of the horse today. He'd been working out at Churchill Downs in Louisville until traveling to Belmont on Tuesday. 11 horses have won the Triple Crown. Affirmed, the last to pull it off, that was back in 1978. Saturday's weather forecast calls for 40% chance of showers and 76-degree temperatures. The third leg of the Triple Crown will be American Pharoah's third race in 5 weeks, and he'll be racing against a field of well-rested contenders, staking the odds of a win pretty much against him. Kristen.
All right, Don, thank you. And I'm joined by a local horse racing expert and analyst, if you will, Bob Carper. And he used to own a Kentucky Derby contender in 2008. And I appreciate your time tonight, since you're kind of giving us a view that not too many people have, since you are always trackside with these big races. So, Bob, thank you for being here. And let's talk about the importance of the post position. And what is the post position for American Pharoah?
I actually, as I left today, I didn't see the post position drawing. So
I'm hearing round 5.
5?
Would that be a good one?
That would be a good one.
Okay.
The post position's not quite as important, I don't believe, in the Belmont as it is, like, for example, the Preakness. Down along the rails, a bad place to be, but Pharoah had the one post position in the Preakness and still ran away with the race. In the Derby, he was on the outside and he won, so he's proven he could win from inside and outside.
So how difficult is it for a horse to win the Triple Crown?
Well, it's very difficult, obviously, because there hasn't been one since 78. However, in 77 there was one, and there were 3 in the 70s.
So a long time ago, it seemed boom, boom, boom. And then we have decades go by.
And 11 times that the effort has been made by a horse that has won both the Derby and the Preakness and come to the Belmont and failed miserably. Last year was a good example, and 2 years before that as well. There's a number of theories about why, but I think there's, everybody kind of has their theory. I think there's 3 important ones. One is that there's a belief that horses are now bred for speed rather than endurance and distance. And the Belmont is 1.5 miles, and that's the longest race of any of the 3 by far.
So with that said, you're thinking American Pharoah actually has a chance?
I do, because really there's 2 other things I might mention that I think are more important. One is that a lot of things people miss is there are more horses in a race now in the Belmont than there used to be. If you look at Affirmed, when he won in 78, there were only 5 horses in the race.
Oh.
When Secretariat won in 73, I think, there were only 6 horses in the race. There's typically been between 10 and 12 horses in the race. The more horses in the race, the more difficult it is to win. The fewer horses in the race, the easier it is to win. So that's a factor. The most important factor, however, is, in my opinion, and that is that horse needs rest. Pharoah has, and any horse that wins the Derby, 2 weeks later he runs in the Preakness. 3 weeks later he runs in the Belmont. Whereas the other horses, and what the trainers are doing now, is they're resting their horses.
Holding them back.
They're holding them back, and they're not racing in the Preakness. The horse that finished 4th in the Derby, Frosted, who I think has a shot, but isn't going to win. He just went home and rested. And he's raced at Belmont Park before. Pharoah's never raced at Belmont Park before either. Bob Baffert is the reason, the trainer. This is his 4th try at Triple Crown. He's had 3 other chances to win the Triple Crown. This is 4th. I was fortunate enough to talk to Bob in the owner's lounge at Churchill Downs before the Derby. He says it's the best horse he's ever trained.
So that's what
Bob
makes
Baffert says, when Bob Baffert talks, you listen. Believe me, he's optimistic.
Obviously, you can't tell one person to make it that one way or the other,
Of
but
course.
But you, being an avid horse racing fan, follower, guru,
I picked this horse to win the Triple Crown back in April, and I actually sent my daughter an email telling her exactly that. So I typically shy away. Like last year when California Chrome was there, I didn't really think the horse was up to it. This horse glides. He just, everything he does acts like he loves what he's doing. And I don't think the fatigue is set in on him. I normally don't like to pick the favorite, but I just really believe that this is the year, this is the horse, and I also don't think there's, other than Frosted and other than Materiality, I don't think there's anybody else in the race that has much of a chance.
Listen, thanks so much for coming in and filling us in. I know you're heading down to the Belmont
I'm going
Stakes.
tomorrow.
Not everyone can be so lucky, but we're having a party today, or on Saturday, at the Celtic Harp that we're inviting everyone to. So if you are interested in watching the Belmont Stakes with News Channel 2 and WKTV, you can head down Saturday Celtic Harp beginning at 4.
Well, there's only 90,000 people that Belmont's letting in. What sporting event do you know of where they limit how many people can get in a track?
There's the
90,000. So, I'm fortunately lucky enough to have an opportunity to go,
awesome.
and I'm looking forward to it. See all my old friends from California, my horse friends,
Good.
all the people around the country.
Bob, and we're looking forward to your reports. Thanks so much for coming in. American Pharoah, you heard it here.
You heard it.
Done.
All right, thank you. Okay.